have what I believe is the oldest myth that Mythbusters has tested. It comes from the 3rd century BC, right from the mind of the famous scientist Archimedes. And the idea is that Archimedes apparently utilized the sun's energy and mirrors to set fire to enemy ships during the Punic Wars.
Well, haven't people speculated that he got his warriors to use their shields to create the mirror?
Absolutely. That's one of the main theories, and it is the very first theory that we're going to test, and that is ancient bronze shields. This right here represents a 1/12 scale model of the Archimedes death ray experiment we're going to actually do for real. Here's our miniature boat, and here's 13 Jamies focusing the sun's energy on a target. So we'll be able to aim all these guys up. So there are 3 methods that Archimedes could have used to actually focus sunlight and set fire to his enemies. The first and the simplest one is actually handing a mirror to every one of X number of soldiers on the shore. The problem with that is it takes a lot of soldiers to get a focused beam, to get something strong enough, and as we saw in our test with even 8 people, it's really hard to coordinate even that small number to focus their mirrors all at the same point.
Adam builds a miniature rig.
Did you know that Archimedes built the first disco ball?
And the result is quite illuminating.
And the one we think that Archimedes was probably most likely to have stumbled upon is holding all of the mirrors inside a common structure with a common focal point. Although this arrangement, which is called a Fresnel arrangement, wasn't invented for another 1,000 years, its concept would have been very clear to Archimedes. And that is that as each mirror gets farther away from center, its angle is increased, so it's still aiming at a common point.
So begins a Fresnel lens frenzy.
They've got paper on them so that we don't blind ourselves when we're trying to focus it, or burn down somebody's house or something like that.
So, we got the mirrors down, frame's almost done. We're going to bring the forklift around, lift this puppy up, and see if we can't put our sad little boat out of its misery. Stop! We got it, Jamie! Oh, look at that! I can't help noticing that it's not on fire. 300 mirrors, it should be on fire.
That's a pretty bright light you got going there, buddy.
The Romans wouldn't know what hit them.
Oh, bright light. Sail away.
What's the temperature, Jamie?
It's about 150.
150?
Give it a minute. 200 degrees.
The highest temperature we seem to be reading on the boat right now is about 200 degrees. That's just about 400 degrees shy of ignition temperature.
Even so, the wax is melting.
Oh, I see wax dripping off.
As a boost, the team holds up sheets of mylar. The added rays bump up the temperature almost 100 degrees.
That's 280 degrees. 284, 287.
The tar begins to smolder, but still no flames. Something else is clear. For this to work, you'd want the enemy to stay very still in exactly the right spot.
Our death ray doesn't seem to be working. I'm standing right in it, and I'm not dead yet.
Despite Adam's best efforts, the beams just aren't concentrated enough. Instead of meeting at a single point, the 300 rays are scattered across the entire structure. The sun's energy is diffused.
I don't think we're gonna get anything better than this. I mean, even if we moved the whole mirror, which I'm not sure it would survive, and get into the sun, we're not gonna get instant ignition on this. I think we should call it quits and go for the flaming arrows.
Oh, well, nice try, Adam. Not sure you'd want these guys defending against the invading hordes.
This is harder than it looks.
Molotov cocktail, anyone? The waterlogged trireme just won't burn. Not even gasoline can provide that elusive spark.
It's busted. I mean, from a purely practical standpoint, this myth is 100% busted. If you have enough mirrors that make an effective death ray, the rig that they're mounted to is going to be so big, we saw, that you can't move it or aim it effectively.
Yeah, Archimedes was a really smart guy, and like a lot of us, he knew that sometimes the simplest solutions are the best ones. This is not a simple solution.
No, I mean, you could only use it at a certain time of day when it's most effective. It's difficult to aim. What, are you going to ask your enemy to please show up around noon?
Or what if it's raining?
If I was a Roman, I'd want to show up on a rainy day. Now, this is definitely, I really wanted this one to work. I wanted to see some fire, but the question wasn't whether we could do it, it's whether Archimedes did it, and I think we showed that he definitely didn't.